Truthfully, if you knew how to listen to your body, stick to a certain plan, and just execute it for a very long time, you would find the results that you want. In this case, we're talking about the chest. And with chest specifically, if you just stick to the same workouts that you like to do, and you max out your push-up stat, and you train hard, and you stay functional, and if you're able to combine that in a workout and just do that naturally over a course of a long period of time, you would see the results that you already want. You would already have the big chest that you want to have. And the thing is, what I said may have sounded very difficult, but that's what people who turn their brain off and know how to just be retarded in the gym and just do what they feel like, that's the sort of training that those guys already do. They already listen to their body. They already stick to a routine that they like to stick to. They already do stuff that's very functional. And in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it to help clarify it and help you understand how you can easily just build a chest. Well, it's not gonna be easy, but how you can build a chest the real way. Because again, you're probably the optimizer who thinks that you need to have the perfect exact metrics for every single rep in the gym. And you're probably the impatient kid who thinks he needs to hop on gear or get on these massive bulks, and then you burn out of stamina. You no longer want to hit the gym because you done all this shit, and you're impatient. You're too impatient to let the actual right way take its course. So let's talk about it. My name's Chike. I've been in the gym for roughly almost 10 years now, and I've just been a consistent gym rat. I'm a gym rat at heart, and I just love fitness. I'm actually kind of an addict to the gym and to fitness. I just think men should just be strong, and as a result, I've been able to build a pretty aesthetic body, and I'm here to help you do the exact same thing. So let's get into the topic. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to max out your push-up stat. I remember when I was a kid, what I would do is, before, you see my chest is amazing now, but when I was younger, I couldn't even do push-ups off the ground. I could do maybe only 10 or 11. So what I would do is I would actually go off the wall, and I would do push-ups off the wall. And until I reached maybe 30 push-ups off the wall, maybe 40 push-ups off the wall, until like my chest genuinely got tired, I would go and hit the ground, and then I would start doing push-ups. And then I would maybe do like 20 push-ups. And I saw that the max that I could do at a single time, at a single set, was 20 push-ups. So I made it a game. The game was, if every morning and every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to bed, what I would do is I would do 20 push-ups, and I can do no less than 20. And my next goal was the next 5 multiple up. So I would try and do 25. Why was this plan very ingenious? Because it forced me to max out my push-up stat. You need to raise your push-up stat as high as you possibly can. If you're a guy who can do 40, 50, 60 push-ups in a row without quitting, without getting tired, benching and dumbbells and all this stuff is the least of your worries. You should still do that stuff, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But you need to get so good at push-ups that it becomes your signature workout. You need to be known for that. Because guys who even just don't even do weights, guys who just do calisthenics, you see their chest muscles, right? You see how their chest looks better than I see a lot of these young guys, these douchey teenagers who show up in the gym in PJs and Crocs with no chest. Their chest is flat as fuck, and they'll hit 225 after adding a whole Iron Man suit and adding all this gear and all these wraps and putting on chalk and then smelling some salts, and then they'll do like pre-workout, they'll hit some cocaine, and then they'll hit 225. Yeah, you hit 225 because you added all these buffs and all these different things, and then you're training just strength, and you don't even actually try and master your own body weight and become strong. You need to get good at push-ups. There's this one influencer, this one guy on YouTube. I don't know his name, but he's like this shorter white guy with like curly hair. Actually, I don't know if he's that short, but this white guy with curly hair, and he had a compilation of him doing push-ups until he cried. That's how you need to do push-ups. You need to do push-ups until your back almost twists up. You need to do push-ups until you're stuck at a half rep for like 10, 20 seconds, and you're pushing yourself to the brink. That's what I did because I genuinely made it a game. And I made that my way of doing things, of training for 3 years at the age of 15. From 15, 16, 17, 18. I did that, and that's how my chest came to grow. So that's the first thing you want to do. And the way that you can implement that, you want to make it a habit. So I would recommend playing that game, doing exactly what I told you, where you find your maximum amount of push-ups, and then you try and get to the next 5 multiple up to every single night before you go to bed and every single morning when you wake up, and pushing yourself really hard. You need to be in a lean bulk, be in a caloric surplus, and getting as much protein as possible, 1 gram per pound of body weight. And you need to stay consistent with it and not change it up and not switch it up. The next thing you need to do is you need to build the surrounding structures around the chest. You can't just be a chest god. You can't just do chest. And a lot of guys who know how to be retarded in the gym and just know how to turn their brain off and just enjoy fitness, and because they have good mental health and they take care of themselves. A lot of those guys do this very well, because when you hit a workout, you may notice this. If you're experienced or decent in the gym, you may notice this. You will do a workout, and for some reason, there's this other muscle group that's kind of around the workout, that's around your chest or somewhere. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's your triceps or your biceps or something. That's kind of calling out to you. That kind of wants you to pay attention to it. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but if you do, drop a comment down below. You need to work out other areas surrounding the chest. And the reason why it's calling out to you is because it was slightly activated by your workout. Every workout is a compound workout. Every workout somewhat kind of works out everything. When you do push-ups, you're also working your core, you're also working your triceps, and you're getting a little bit of front deltoid activation as well. You need to be hitting those areas as well to support the strength and the momentum of your chest growth. Workouts I recommend is dips. Dips are a great way to also build that lower chest region. A reason why my lower chest is so dang on massive is because I can do a lot of dips and I can do a lot of weight with my dips. Doing dips, chest flies, and incline is a really great way to help work out the surrounding areas. The chest doesn't just grow in just isolation. It grows along with the other muscle groups. A lot of you guys think about this exact muscle group and just obsess over it, and you feel insecure about it when you look in the mirror or something like that, but you forget about the other muscle groups surrounding it. And work out these muscle groups within the same workout. Don't just hit chest and then just say, okay, I'm gonna do dips tomorrow. No, do dips after. Do dips in a circuit. If you can do dips and push-ups in a row, your chest will actually grow. And it sounds crazy. You may think that I'm crazy saying this. Dips doesn't grow your chest. It does grow your chest, especially if you're doing it right and you get the right activation. In one of my other videos, and I'll link it at the end of this one, I talk about circuits, and doing circuits can help with sarcoplasmic adaptation, which is the fluid buildup in your chest, which is what accredits hypertrophy to building size. A lot of you guys think that, oh, I just need to build size, so I'm just gonna do a whole lot of reps and do all this stuff and just stick to hypertrophy. No, you can do both at the exact same time. And I'm gonna make that my next point. You need to do something that's hard as hell. You need to do something that's really stinking tough. You need to try to be as strong as you possibly can in the muscle group that you're trying to grow. These bodybuilders and these juice heads online and these optimizers online who are just dorks who've been lifting for 20 plus years, 15 plus years, that preach to you, oh, only do hypertrophy, do 12 reps, do 15 reps. Who's got time for that? I haven't done 20 reps of anything since I was 18 years old, and I make more gains in the gym than most people, and I'm bigger than I've ever been before. And I'm sitting at 12% body fat. And it's all just because of consistency in doing what you want in the gym. If you want to do 12, 20 reps and that's what you like to do it. But I'm telling you now, you want to build the foundation for your chest by training strength, and here's why. When you train strength, you're building up myofibrillar density. Your muscle fibers become more dense. Your muscle cords, your muscle fibers become thicker. They become bigger. They become more dense. You want to add that into your routine. A lot of these optimizers and these guys who say, you want to train high reps, and you need to be super optimal. Well, it doesn't freaking matter if you don't have the strength to back it up. You actually need to combine the two. These guys online who make you think that that you need to do one single thing, and that's not the case. You need to train heavy. You need to make sure that you train your tendons so that as you're training heavy, you don't injure yourself. And you need to train in high repetition. You need to do all three, and it's very freaking easy. You need to be progressive overloading with strength, functional movements, and high repetition, all in the same workout for a very long period of time, and your chest will naturally grow. So how can you incorporate this in a routine? What you want to do is you want to have a daily habit of doing your push-ups twice a day and finding your max and trying to beat your max every single day. And that's when you wake up, before you go to work or school or whatever. As soon as you get out the bed, make that your frog task. Eat the frog. Do as many pushes as you can. As soon as you're done, be on your way. And then when you come home, before you go to bed, before you get in that bed, make sure that you do your maximum amount of push-ups that you could possibly do. And the second thing is you need to switch up your routine. If you're a guy who's been following this super optimizer bullshit and you've been trying to eat 4,000, 6,000 calories a day because you need to get big and all this crazy shit, listen, you need to just eat in a slow bulk, lean bulk, and you need to follow this process. Do something hard. Start off your workout with something that's really stinking hard. Do something that's optimized for strength. That's your dumbbell press or that's your bench press. And you need to do that for 4 to 6 reps and just optimize for strength and then be done. Do your hardest workout first. Second thing is follow that up with something functional and something that's good for your tendons, something that's good for just hypertrophy and targeting your chest. That's your dips, that's your chest flies, and maybe that's your incline press, and do that for maybe 10 to 12 reps. And the weight does not need to be heavy at all. Do something that you can manage, but something that will be a challenge to you as you progress through the workout. And the last thing you want to finish that off with is another set of push-ups. Just find your max amount of push-ups and do your max push-ups. Try and do that 3 sets in a row. And then you're good. That's your chest day. And if you stick to this routine and just progressive overload it, meaning as you're doing dips, you add weight, meaning you do more weight when you're doing these functional movements, meaning you're leveling up your weight when you do your bench and your dumbbell press, and you're doing more reps when you're doing your push-ups, meaning you're adding more weight to your body, either by getting a weighted vest or simply just getting heavier by eating more like you should be doing and bulking. You will see results and you'll eventually get the chest that you want. And I show people how to do this in my program. So if you want to hop in on that, top link in the description. But that's it for the video. If you want to learn more, go ahead and click on this one. Goodbye.